Hello world, Alexandre Buckley here, and let's talk games. Now, we've had a few updates and we now know a lot more about Google's new Stadia platform. So without wasting any more time, let's dive into absolutely everything we know officially about Google Stadia. So first of all, what is Google Stadia? In case you're new to this conversation, you've not actually heard of it, Google Stadia is a new game streaming platform. This means there is no need for a traditional games console. The idea is instead of investing loads of money into a new console or a top-end PC, you can now forego that initial cost of entry and get access to console quality games on anything that runs the Chrome browser. In addition to this, you can play across all the platforms you know or already own. This means in theory you could start playing a game on a computer or a MacBook or a PC and then move on to a mobile platform and then finally finish off on a TV if you wanted to, of course. So what do you need to run Google Stadia? The dream, of course, is the best quality possible. For most people, this will be 60 frames per second and a 4K resolution. Now, should you want this experience, you will need a minimum of 30 megabytes per second or higher to stream a game at this high resolution. However, the actual barrier to entry is much lower. 10 megabits per second is what Google recommends for 720p and 60 frames per second, which is actually pretty impressive and fairly reasonable. If you are after 1080p at 60 frames per second, you will need to have at least 20 megabytes per second. What games are available on Google Stadia? Now, Google is listing a few games ready for launch, and it's only a small selection, but the ones that Google have officially listed are as follows. We've got Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Doom Eternal, Wolfenstein Youngblood, Destiny 2, Grid, Baldur's Gate 3, Metro Exodus, Thumper, Final Fantasy XV, Rage 2, Tomb Raider Trilogy, Samurai Showdown, Football Manager 2020, Gets Packed, The Elder Scrolls Online, Guilt, The Crew 2, The Division 2, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, Just Dance, Trial Rising, NBA 2K, Borderlands 3, Farming Simulator 19, Mortal Kombat 11, and Darksiders Gen. Now, the key thing to note here is the list of games that I've just read out are the ones that are currently listed on the website, but there should be actually more games to purchase at launch. So how much does all this cost? This is probably the most important part of all the information that has been released so far, because everyone wants to know how much the new service will cost and what we're going to get and how much we have to pay for this. Well, good news. Google Stadia is free, sort of. So Google is basically offering us two options for accessing Stadia. Option 1 is a free version. They call this version Studio Base. The base is capped at a 1080p resolution and gives you 60 frames per second and stereo sound only. This option will require you to buy games in order to use and play Stadia. So you're not going to be able to access any of the free games that Google are planning to release regularly as part of Stadia. The second option Google's offering is Stadia Pro, which in the UK is going to be costing around $8.99 and I believe $9.99 other international territories. This is listed as part of the Founders Edition. We're going to get onto that in a little bit, but for that you get up to 4K resolution, 60 frames per second, 5.1 surround sound, free games which will include Destiny 2, and plus discounts on all the other games as well. Now, how much does it cost to buy individual games? Officially, we do not know, as they have not mentioned this, and I can't find it anywhere on the official Google Stadia website. There have been a lot of videos and articles and rumours that it's going to be somewhere up to £60 or $60, but that's not officially been announced yet, so there is no actual price on individual games yet. If there has been an update to that, please let me know in the comments and I can update the video as and when. So what is the Founders Edition? Well, the Founders Edition is in theory the best way to get the full Google Stadia experience. You get 3 months of Stadia Pro, which is the above service I mentioned before, 3 months of Stadia Pro to give to a friend as well. So if you've actually taken part and become a founder, you can actually ship over part of that and give the experience to someone else who's been considering the service. You get an exclusive Night Blue controller, a Google Chromecast Ultra, a Founders Edition name, which, you know, is very similar to any other online streaming service where you get to collect a username. You get to select one and reserve that. and all of that is going to cost around £119. So officially, this is everything we now know about Google Stadia that Google themselves have confirmed. Everything else so far seems to be just speculation. So I just wanted to do a video that literally just covers the very basics of what we actually now know Google Stadia does. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. Hopefully you found all that information useful. If you did like the video, please hit the like button. And I'd also like it if you guys could subscribe to the channel as well to help me grow. I'd really appreciate it. But that'll do it for today, guys. Have a good one. Peace.